What's going on, people? Welcome back to Premzy TV. We got a very big game tomorrow night. Manchester City versus Arsenal, and there's no other than Big Steve. I've had to bring in the cut straight from fucking Amsterdam. What you telling me, bro? You good?
Yeah, man. Yeah, it was good. It's had bit of a mad few weeks. Bayern Munich away, Eindhoven, PSV, and Ajax, and then home to England, full of the lurgy and that. But I've got out of bed because I'm here with you for the
Yeah.
preview. Got to do it, haven't we?
I'm not gonna lie, I've been watching your stories and stuff. It's looking mad over there, the ultras. You know what I mean, bro? It fits you right down to the ground, and it being in that atmosphere, bro.
Yeah, they love it, mate. They love it. They absolutely love it.
Well, look, before we dive in to this preview, Steve, and talk everything Manchester City and Arsenal, there's one thing I want to discuss with you first, yeah. And this is the big
Well,
blue shark. Because this is the joke that started between myself and you, yeah. You get me? You've been sending me the shark. Next thing you know, you've gone on AFTV when we was there. You've said what you said, and now it's become an internet sensation. Now I'm getting Tom, Dick, and Harry sending me sharks out of nowhere, bro. Talk to me.
no,
What is all this about, bro?
it's just the way I felt because building up to the last game at the Emirates, it was hard work, you know what I mean? The pressure was on after the cup game. All the Arsenal fans were saying to me, "Oh yeah, wait till we get to the Emirates. Wait till you get to the Emirates. We'll see. We'll see." And I was just thinking, you know what? Last few years, few of our players have been described as a shark team, and it is fitting. You know what I mean? It is pretty fitting. So I just thought, right, okay, keep your powder dry. Don't say anything. And then after the game, I just thought, I'm going round to the shark pit here with you lot. I went round there. There was loads of guys there and that. And I was respectful like I always am. I came round the year before, said it how it was, told them about Arteta, you was there. And then I thought, I've got to crank up the psychological warfare because you was there that night and people don't believe me, but there was a lot of Arsenal lads after that game that had threw the towel in already round there. And I thought, they're shaking this lot. So I just said, listen, there's blood in the water, Robbie, and there's a big blue shark on your tail, and walked off. You grabbed my head. So you knew what that psychological warfare was about. And then it just went from there now, and people are buying inflatable sharks. People are sending baby shark. I've even got my face singing baby shark. Liam Gallagher tweeted it with the Jaws music and that. So, yeah, man, it's just gone from there. But, yeah, the shark is well and truly amongst the swimmers now.
You set a fucking trend, aren't you? You know what I mean? I'm telling you, at the game tomorrow, and I'm gonna end up taking it a little gassy and start popping all them fucking inflatable sharks in the city. And I'm telling you, I've
Yeah,
had enough of
yeah.
it, bro. It's pissing me off. But look, let's get down to more serious business now. For me, it looks like Arsenal have lost the panache. I'm not gonna lie. Up until the Liverpool game, even after the Liverpool game, I still had a lot of belief, still had a lot of hope that we could go on and win the title, especially being in this position after 19 years. I didn't ever think that at the start of the season we would be here. And I was grateful, and I'm still happy with what the boys have done this season. But with myself, I look at it with a realistic eye. Yeah, we're up against a juggernaut, a team that knows how to get over the line, a team that is star-studded, a team that's found form right at the best moment you could probably find it, right towards the back end of the season, the business end, and also a team that I've got us at the Etihad, the home advantage. Now, with me, after West Ham, after Southampton, for me, I think we've totally fucked it. In my opinion, there's no way we should be dropping points in them kind of games if you're serious about winning the title. Fair enough for people, and understand people say relegation team, it's hard. They're going to want to fight and get everything they possibly can to stay up. But at the same time, they're down there for a reason because they're fucking shitsty. You get me? We should be turning these over. We're levels above them. If that was Man City, you wouldn't see them dropping points to them kind of teams in this part of the season. Now, I'm not going to lie. I have lost belief and I have lost hope for the title. For me, I think it's over because I look at it totally different to how a lot of other people look at it. And you know what? Credit to them people that look at it in the aspects of, no, we can still do it. If we go to Man City and we beat them and we win the rest of our games, we won the league. It's not impossible. It's still mathematically possible. So I can understand that. But can I see Man City dropping points to Arsenal and 2-3 other teams in this final running? No, I really can't see Man City doing that. And also at the Etihad, historically, we haven't really got a great record. You get me? We're going to be coming up against Haaland and De Bruyne and all these kind of players. We've seen what happened in the FA Cup when we played really well in the first half. We end up still losing that game. I just think the mentality is kind of shot now off the players, and you've seen that over the last couple of games. How do you see this Arsenal team right now? Can you see these guys getting over the line and beating Man City, or do you think that mentally they're stagnating a little bit?
Obviously, I tried to tell everyone about the last 10 games and the business end of the season when these small teams are fighting for lives. You got players there that if they get relegated, the contracts are halved and shit like that. So there's livelihoods on the line. So you do get freak results. You see these teams coming out of nowhere and fucking winning, and you think, where's that come from? But that's because everything's on the line. And in the middle of the season, people get complacent and lazy. But when it gets to the business end, they think, shit, real chance of getting into Europe, real chance of winning the league, real chance of going down. And mad things happen. I mean, I looked at Arsenal and I thought, you know what? You look at the games, you think they might drop points there, they might drop points there. But dropping 6 points in the last 3 games as well from winning positions, 2 of them, that's not title form. And I did say on a stream a few weeks ago, I said, you know, you lost in the Cup with the Etihad. You said, let's go to the Emirates. You lost at the Emirates. You lost to Everton. The win at Villa off the underside of the bar, bounce on the keeper's head. Great win. Bournemouth, late in the death. Then you've got the draws. It's not championship form. Sporting Lisbon. And then they were trying to spin it and say, oh, yeah, but we're only playing 1 game a week. But like I said this morning with Turkish, if you fall off a horse and land on your ass and it hurts, do you want to get straight back on the horse, or do you want to spend a week sulking about it in the house? Because that's what Arsenal did. They drew against Liverpool. They had a week's training where it's playing on your mind. Then they said, right, we'll put it right again against West Ham. You went out, you did exactly the same. Then you had another week to put it right against Southampton. And you did exactly the same. Now you're going to the Etihad. So them little stupid things there can where they overthink can cause problems. And like you say, the door's open for City now. We're right on the doorstep. We're ready to come in. We're playing really well. We're getting the job done. People saying, oh, Man City, you've got loads of games. But we have loads of games every season. Every season we're in the FA Cup semi-final, no disrespect. We're in the Champions League later round. So it's nothing new, but we're just a bit better prepared. We've got a number 9 now, best in the world. You know, we ain't got Gabriel Jesus and Sterling missing 3s and 4s and then scraping wins. We've got this guy up front who's a monster. You only had to see him against Sheffield United the other day. He ran running one way, everyone followed him, and Mahrez ran straight through the middle of the defence and just tucked it in the bottom corner. So you don't even have to touch it, but he's causing the problems. And the Etihad Stadium, mate, people can call the Etihad all they want. You got no fans, you're fucking shit and all that. Yeah, okay, we'll take that. We don't give a fuck because it's a fortress at the minute. You know that. It's a fortress at the minute. Bayern Munich came there, got slapped. Red Bull Leipzig came there, got slapped for 7. There's a lot of teams coming there. Liverpool got slapped for 4. United's had 6 put past them there. So we're confident. And people said to me, oh, Steve, you're arrogant. It's like, no, it's not arrogant. When you're in my position, you won 4 out of 5. You believe in your team. It's like you. If you was in my position 4 out of 5, there's no way you're not sitting on here going, we're going to do it. I trust my players. I trust Pep Guardiola. I trust my team. I trust the fans to get behind them on Wednesday night. And it reminds me of the Man United game in 2012 when we were chasing them. And it came to the Etihad. And I was like, if we win this, we can smell it. And Vincent Kompany headed it in and we won 1-0. Atmosphere was amazing. That was it. Then bang, we was on it. And I do believe that tomorrow we're going to get the job done. We've got to start fast. We've got to be aggressive. We've got to be getting in your guys' ears early on. If I'm playing in that game, I'm telling everyone they bottled it, you shit bags. I'm giving them all that on the pitch. The fans have got to give it your guys, inflatable sharks. We're getting thrown about, paddling pools and that. And we just got to fucking have it, mate. I tell you, we know what we got to do. You've let us in now. Yeah. You've let us in, man. You had a great position and you've let us in. But what I will say is, Premsy, you know me, man. I was a big Arteta fan. I speak to you about Arsenal all the time. What Arsenal's done this season is amazing. Amazing. And you're going to get shit. You go on and win it. It's fully deserved. If you get pipped by Man City, they're going to say you bottled it and this, that, and the other. But no one's coming close to them numbers. Liverpool got 97 points, didn't win the league. So I think people disrespect Man City a lot. You know, oh, you're this, you're that, and all that. But at the end of the day, on that football pitch, that team is relentless when it needs to be. And that's all that counts, man.
Do you know what, Steve? I think everything that you said there is bang on. I think the thing is with Man City as well, a lot of people banter them. from my point of view, because they haven't really got much to banter him over the last 10 years. So they talk about the atmosphere, they talk about this and they talk about that, you get me, in order to try to pick at little things. But I think the majority of people who understand football and know football, they respect Manchester City. Like for myself, I look at City and they're a team where we want to be, and that's where we want to be heading in that direction. And I think the trajectory of Arsenal this season, it shocked me. And you know what? It's going up, and it's promising for seasons to come. But for me personally, if we don't win the league, it'll seem like a failure, because with me, I want to win. You get me? Now, being on top of the league for 240 odd days consecutively, dropping off once, if you don't go on to win it, then it looks like a cock-up job. You get me? It looks like when it's time to pull your big boy pants up, you get me? They haven't done that. And like you said about dropping off the horse, you get me? And getting on the horse and getting back on it. It looks like we've done a Superman moment. If people know about the original Superman, he dropped off the horse, and unfortunately, he couldn't really get back on it. And and that's and that's how it's looking with Arsenal right now. I swear to God, bro. Like, I'm just looking at it, thinking, yeah, we can go on our day to Etihad and win, because we've shown it time and time again this season. But what's giving me doubt is Arteta's decisions of late. It looks like his inexperience is coming through in certain games. For example, Fabio Vieira in the last game, without Granit Xhaka, don't play Fabio Vieira in that position. He looks lost. He's come on and looked good for us in moments. He hasn't really had a stellar game, a proper 90 minutes since he's come to the club. He's not ready for the Premier League. Emil Smith-Rowe's on the bench. Jorginho, a player that you brought in for experience. Yeah. Why can't he be getting that kind of game? Because when he has come in, he's looked half decent. So these are the kind of mistakes where I'm thinking, you know what? I think his batty's flapping a little bit now. I think he's overthinking things too much. And I think
that's what as well
going to be a big hurdle.
Somebody said to me, if he was going up against any other team than Man City, he's got Pep Guardiola to speak to regular. Because he's up against Pep, they can't talk about it. But if you're up against Liverpool and he says he can ring Pep, his mate, and go, got Liverpool at weekend, that's my team, what do you think? He's probably going to say, yeah, I'd do that, do this, do that. You feed off people, don't you? But he's not. And you've got to give him credit for where he is. And Arsenal now are in a really good position as a football club. And you only have to look at Tottenham over the road. You know, 12 months ago, they were all singing Antonio, Antonio, and all that. You've got Arteta and we've got a serial winner and all that. You wouldn't touch Antonio Conte with a fucking barge pole now. You wouldn't touch any of them. They're finished, man. And the thing is, with Arsenal, you look at the players, Saka, you know, Jesus, Odegaard, Partey. They're not a shit team. The summer months is going to be massively important. Edu's got to sort himself out. You can't make any mistakes in the transfer market. Man City won the league under Mancini and they signed Jack Rodwell, Scott Sinclair, Javi Garcia, and lost it to Man United. The worst recruitment we've ever made in the fucking history the season we won the league. And since that day then, the recruitment every year after that has been unbelievable. And that's what Arsenal have to do. Because Arsenal are an attractive proposition now for players all around Europe. The phone's going to be belling up off the up at the Emirates with young players wanting to come to Arsenal because they see what's happening. The temptation is not to make knee-jerk reaction decisions and actually think about the progression of the club. We signed Haaland, but we waited 2 years for him. We went with a false nine. We waited 2 years. Gundogan, Bernardo might leave. Bellingham quite possibly will come in. Fernandinho slipped out the background. Rodri came in, took his place. At Man City, it's different. And I think Arsenal need to get up to that level. But, I mean, I don't want to patronise no one because, listen, you're still well in the title race. You're leading. We've got games in hand. You've got points on the board. It's not all doom and gloom. I get it because you've been top for so long. I get it. The press. But when I told people about the pressure and they didn't understand me, they were like, you're talking shit. I'm like, mate, it makes you ill. I wouldn't be surprised if I'm ill now because I've been overthinking about the fucking game tomorrow because that's just how it is with me. I'm fully invested in the team. I go every match and you live and breathe it. And you fucking, everyone comes to me for advice. What do you think of this, Steve? What do you think of that, Steve? Do you think he's going to play that? What if we get beat? What if we get that? And it drains you. But, you know, I'm looking forward to the game. This is what games are about, Premser. This is what tomorrow's about. You go there with your boys. You've had a great season. We go there with our boys. And we just fucking have it. There's now you can do, and now I can do. We just got to go through it in the stands.
No, it's true, bro. The emotional investment is crazy because for me, when we end up losing a game, or for example, that Southampton game, it felt like a loss to me, not even a draw. And that ruins my whole weekend. I'm a moody bastard. I'm not going to lie. You get me? And obviously, sometimes it's not fair on the people around you, but that's just how much we love our club. You get me? And I
Imagine
get it.
going to West Ham, last season when you're chasing Liverpool, got to West Ham, you 2-0 down at half time, your fan base, 2-0 down at West Ham at half time, panics the fucking life out of everyone because they've never been there. Man City fan base didn't fucking have a cackle. They came out second half, we got a draw. We go to Aston Villa at home to win the league, we're 2-0 down. Yeah? Do we panic? No, because we've been there before. So we got behind the boys and then we won the league. And that is the difference. Every step on the journey that you take, things happen for a reason. We fell on our ass in the Champions League. But instead of me looking at it thinking we should have beat Chelsea, no, we weren't ready for Chelsea. The fans weren't ready. They got pissed all day in Porto, got to the ground, had no support, arses fell out. The team bottled it. They'd never been there before, didn't know what to do. Last season against Real Madrid, should have put them to bed. Lack of experience. Real Madrid heritage, bang, 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 done us. Out the Champions League. This season, you learn from that. We're different. Different animal. Different animal. We go Real Madrid in 2 weeks. Watch. I'm telling you.
I agree. I think
and that's what happened with Arsenal. If you fall on your ass and you miss out on the league, you've got to take it as a learning curve and think, you know what? I'm not having that feeling again. We've got to put it right. And I think with him, he's been there before with City. He's one of the best young managers in the world at the minute. There's not a lot of great managers out there, mate, let me tell you. And I don't think it's doom and gloom for Arsenal. I think, they're still in it, man. Still in it.
No, I hear what you're saying, Steve. I think on the whole scheme of things, the progression of the club is definitely on an upward spiral. You know what I mean? I just think it's very disappointing for the fans this season because you got to understand we've not won the league for 19 years. You get me? And when you're in a position like this, you expect the boys that from the start of the season that have looked absolutely formidable to carry on that same vein of form. And obviously certain things can affect the way you play. Obviously William Saliba, there's levels to centre backs, and I'm not trying to push it all on Rob Holding because I don't think he's done too bad since he's come in, but the difference with the composure of Rob Holding and what that gives to the rest of the team compared to a William Saliba, you see it when the likes of Harry Maguire at United comes in and stuff like that. It does change the dynamics a bit. And so I do understand that. But the one thing I must give the fans have been brilliant this season. Every time we're down, we're 2-0 down. Even against Southampton, we were 2-0 down. We might, after the end of the game, feel disappointed and have our views. But whilst them boys are on the pitch, there's something I'm telling you now, Steve, and I've not seen it for years going to the Emirates. It's been absolutely unbelievable. Like they've got behind the boys for the full 90 minutes. And that's something that makes me proud to see as an Arsenal fan as well, because there's been so many years of turmoil at the club and the fan base has been split. Nobody's really kind of got on. Half of the fan base has got on with these, half of the fan base got on with these. And Arteta's brought that union and he's brought that composure to the club. But it's just the disappointment of the performance on the pitch, the decisions from Arteta that are showing these inexperience. And like you said, we have to just learn from these mistakes. Look, it's not over till the fat lady sings mathematically. But for me, look, everyone's got their own opinion in it. This is what I personally think. I just think that it's going to be a little bit too hard to get over the line now, especially with an informed Man City and a City that are looking for a treble. Because regardless of what people say, if City fans don't want to accept the pressure or not, that treble is going to be there in the back of their minds. And that treble is going to help spur them on to try to push for the league even harder than well, I'm not saying they won't anyway, but you got to think Manchester, United, Man City, if City equal their record and get 3 Premier Leagues on the bounce and win the treble, realistically, other than the Champions League and maybe how many times they won the Premier League, they can't really speak to Man City in that aspect. So that is motivation, where with us, I feel like as a team, we've lost a little bit of self-belief because we're conceding too many goals. And that's something we did not see at the start of the season. And even the likes of Saliba being out the team, Gabriel starting to make a few more mistakes. Aaron Ramsdale against Southampton, that pass that he gave out where we conceded that first goal, the start of the season, that would have never happened. Nerves got to him. You get me? The pressure's there and you can see the pressure. And I think this team, people are saying, oh, they're not young, is the average age of 25. But if you go throughout the whole squad, it is a young squad. The average age of like Thomas Partey and Xhaka and Jorginho pump the average age up. But they're a young squad and they've still got a lot to learn. And I'm just hoping and praying that next season, like you said, we can recruit well, because a lot of people can't see Arsenal being in this position next year. And I don't understand that situation, because next year, every player is going to be a year older, a year wiser, a year more experienced, a year where they've actually had a title race and they can learn from that. And also the recruitment of Arsenal over the last couple of years has actually been top notch. So if we can stay on that same trajectory, there's no reason for us not to compete. Obviously, I understand the Champions League might come into play, and we've not been in it for a good number of years. And how will we deal with that kind of pressure as well, playing Wednesday, Saturday, or whatever the weather? But I think you're right. I think
you need the rhythm, man. The rhythm's better. When you're in a title race, the rhythm's better than, like I said before, you have a week to stress it. You can overthink it. If you get back on the Wednesday, Bayern Munich, big game, boom, you win. Go fly out to the FA Cup semi-final, boom, you win. Straight into that. There's nothing better than rhythm. We rested players weekend as well. People got rested.
Bro, when I seen that picture of that bench, I thought, nah, that's taking the piss. That's absolutely taking the piss. He was on the bench.
Last season, we had to give up the FA Cup because we flew back from Madrid. I flew back to London, went to the semi. We had Zach Steffen in net. We had Fernandinho at 38 running around. We had Laporte with injections in his knee. We had to give it up because we couldn't handle it. And we limped over the line against against Real Madrid when Kyle Walker was on the pitch. Vinicius Jr. never had touched the ball. The second they took him off because he was injured, and the second we patched him up and he went off in the Bernabeu, it was game over.
Yeah, I remember
this season, he signed Manuel Akanji, £15 million. People laughed at it. Why have you signed him? But he's that kind of caliber player that he's dependable. He can play left, he can play right, he can play centre-back. He's come in. He's got a second chance in his career. He was stale at Dortmund. He's came in. He's in one of the best teams in the world now. At centre-back with Ruben Diaz. Who's seen that coming? John Stones at right-back. Nathan Ake at left-back. You know, since Cancelo left, Jack Grealish never been the same player. Because Cancelo gets the ball, runs right up that wing, and he's right up Grealish's arse. So by the time he releases it to Grealish, he's on the edge of the box. He hasn't got the space. Nathan Ake does it simple. Gets the ball straight into Grealish. Let Grealish do his shit. We aren't got gungo bombing fullback, so we don't leave space in behind. Yeah. And that's the difference with us this season.
If we know what, Steve? It's surprising, though, because normally when Pep does bring a player in, they're on the bench for a year, and he's just literally come and get thrown straight into the team. So that just must show how much he rates him.
It depends on him. Ruben Diaz and Akanji, when Akanji plays with Diaz, Ruben talks to him a lot. I'm behind the net. I hear Ruben talking to him a lot. Every time Akanji makes a block, Ruben Diaz is over high-fiving him and all that. When Akanji plays with Stones or Laporte, he's left on his own and he gets exposed. I think Akanji's one of these players that needs somebody like Ruben Diaz to talk him through the game. And he's been a great signing for 15 million for us. But our squad depth now, Man City squad depth's always been a myth to people. Oh, you've got this great second squad. When I ask them to name it and they put it on paper, they realise that in 2 or 3 positions, yeah, we've got replacements, but we always have academy lads on the bench. Do you know what I mean? But this season, going into these competitions, we look miles better and fresh off than I've ever seen. Erling Haaland scoring 2 goals, getting took off after 50 minutes. And people go, why is he taking him off? It's like, well, listen, he's keeping him fresh. He's here for the long haul. He's broke all the records anyway. But look how many games he's played, Haaland, this season. He's never been heard of. Oh, he's always going to get injured. The Premier League's too fast. Look at him. He's fucking unbelievable, man.
I think Nathan Ake's played very well for you as well. I think coming in at left back. No, I know, but I'm just saying of the grand scheme of it since he's come in.
He's been our second best player, Nathan Ake. Second best player. And that's, for me, if we talk about the game tomorrow, the place where I think you can get some joy is if he plays Laporte at left back and Saka can get at him. But he's got to be brave and he's got to want to get at him. When you played Liverpool, Martinelli had fucking Trent Alexander-Arnold on toast. He should have come in that dressing room and gone, listen, give me the ball. As soon as you get it, look for Martinelli because I've got him. I've got him. He was rattled. He was coming into midfield.
He was on a yellow card as well. This is what pisses me off about us, man. When players are on the yellow card, get at them. I think you're right.
You see Bernardo Silva in Bayern Munich the other night? Nutmegging Cancelo. Cancelo booted him, yellow card. You're on a yellow now against Bernardo Silva. Bernardo was running rings around him then for 10 minutes because he lost his head. And that's what Martinelli should have done to Trent. And I think if Saka, if Arsenal's going to get any joy, they need to get in and about Laporte at left back, and they need to stop Rodri receiving the ball from the goalkeeper. Otherwise, he dictates the play. So Partey, you might have to sacrifice Partey's game, but you'll have to be on Rodri all the time.
No, we're definitely going to have to look at doing something different. I think with Nathan Ake not playing, it does give us an advantage there because in the FA Cup,
And you've got to attack us and not get caught by that big Norwegian
he
fucking
didn't give us
cock.
nothing. Don't worry, Rob Holding's got him sorted. Don't you worry about that. Don't choke on your Lucozade fan, but he's got him. But look. Just a little bit off topic, yeah. Pep Guardiola, if he wins the treble this year, is he staying at City? Is he going?
No, he's signed a new contract. I think, listen, Pep Guardiola can do whatever he wants at Manchester City Football Club. Whatever he wants. The fans love him unconditionally. He is everything about our club. Do you know what I mean? We trust him 100%. If he won the Champions League and then said, you know what, guys, I've decided that I'm going to go Barcelona with my kids and I'm going to go and have a sabbatical somewhere. There's not one Man City fan in the world that wouldn't wish him well. Because good things come to an end. And Pep Guardiola, what he's done for Manchester City Football Club, what he's done for me in my life, the things I've seen. I rang my dad the other night and my dad took me to the game when I was a kid. And I rang him from Bayern Munich after the game and I went, we're through, Dad, semi-final. And he went, I bet you never thought when I used to take you to them games years ago that you'd be ringing me from Bayern Munich where we just outclassed them. And I went, no. And that's when you sit at that and you think about it. That's what football's all about, the journey. And Pep Guardiola, you know, he's fantastic. He'll never get the credit, Premzer, he deserves in this country because someone will always try and knock him down. If he won 10 Champions Leagues and no Prems, he'd say, he didn't win the Prem. If he wins 10 Premier Leagues and no but he didn't win it. It's all crap. But at the end of the day, the only opinion that counts in England about Pep Guardiola is where he's employed by me and all the supporters of Man City, and we love him. And I'd have him here forever.
I think he will, though. I think he will. And I think at the moment, from a lot of people that understand football, they see what he is.
And you look at Haaland,
to the league, man.
The people are trying to say Haaland makes us worse. That's how fucking mental people are. He's broke every record on the planet that he's to break at the minute in his first season in the Premier League. Oh, he makes you worse, though. I think you're a better team without Haaland. People just listen to knobheads online. Oh, Dave from down the road tweeted that Haaland makes City worse. Yeah, so then they go in the pub and tell them ain't that. And it's like, come on, I watch him every week. The guy's a monster, man. He's a monster. He's a superstar.
But I said this yesterday, Steve. If we all had the same opinion, it'd be a very boring place, wouldn't it? You get me?
It would, but some opinions are fucking shit opinions, aren't they? And you think, wow.
But you can laugh at some of these opinions, you know what I mean? I think maybe the reason the people were saying that at the start of the season because they just weren't used to seeing Man City not play that same kind of fluid football, which is understandable. You get me? You can look at it. You're being so used to seeing Man City just knocking the ball around, scoring at will, and when the start of the season kicked in, you were getting the goals through Haaland, but the football didn't look the same. And maybe I think that's what people kind of jumped on and thought, you know what, is it because they haven't got a false nine, the change of the system a little bit, and they're looking for Haaland too much? So I can understand it, but no, it definitely is a big strength in it, having Haaland in your team. For me, best striker in world football. When you're dominating teams like Bayern Munich, who I had down as the favourites to win the Champions League, it just shows you in it that fucking hell, Man City, they're not messing around.
The difference with it, that Bayern couldn't attack us 100% because if we broke, you've got one of the best finishes in the world. And that is the difference. Against Real Madrid last year at home, we won 4-3. Gabby missed a load. Sterling missed a load. If we break against Real Madrid at home this time and he gets them chances that Gabby and that had, it's in the net, man. The guy is, I've never seen anything like him. He's just what he does off the ball. You know, he played someone the other day, Liverpool, I think. He ran 12 kilometres for a number 9 at 6'5". Fucking 12 kilometres.
Did he run like that guy on Instagram? Haaland? Did he run like him?
But, you know, this is what you've got with this kid. He's a young kid. He's come to the Premier League. His career's been managed unbelievable by his dad and his agent. They've stepped him up to every team he's gone to. And they keep going, well, Real Madrid are going to buy him. Well, listen, let me just tell you the short story. If Real Madrid can't buy him for 54 million when they've won the Champions League, how are they going to buy him now for fucking 300 million? Because that's what you got to pay for him. The release clause is gone now because Pep's signed a new deal, so it's finished. What's he worth, Premzer? What's he worth?
He ain't going nowhere anytime soon. I think if he is to leave, it's going to probably be after 5-6 years.
Sold out the shirts in the shop again. My mate messaged me before, check this batshit fucking shop of ours out. Went on, menswear, Erling Haaland shirts, not one left in the fucking place. They ain't prepared for it. It's just Haaland fever, man.
You stop going and buying all these shirts out, Steve, and giving them away on your Instagram. You can't. No,
I'm a grown man as well, and I bought one. And some guy took the piss out of me first game of the season when I had a Haaland shirt on. He went, "You're a grown man, Steve. Why have you got a Haaland shirt on?" I said, "It's fucking Erling Haaland, mate. You know, he's not Niall Quinn."
Well, hopefully our Norwegian Viking can do something on tomorrow night in it. But before we wrap it up, Steve, how do you see the game playing out? Do you think Arsenal are going to come and be brave? Do you reckon we're going to be cautious? Do you reckon City are going to go for the kill straight away to make a statement? How do you see it working out?
I think we've got to go for the kill. I think we've got to get the atmosphere ramped up. We've got to go for the kill, but also with a little bit of caution. We don't want to throw everything at them, get caught on the break. If we give Arsenal something to hold on to, they catch us on the break, score. Arsenal might think, you know what, we've got our noses in front here, we'll dig in. I just think we've got to be cautious. We've got to respect it, and I think we will. We went to the Emirates, and we were relaxed with it. We knew what we had to do. We got the job done.
I didn't see so much fucking time wasting in my life, mate. I'm telling you, I've never seen City. I've never seen City do that, and that's where I thought, you know what, this is.
Yeah, because you know what, that happens to us all the time, and it happens to you all the time now. You see it every week. When you're at the top, it happens. We did it in Bayern Munich the other night. Edison took the piss, man. He was just shithousing his way to the. And I thought, you know what? Why not in them big games? Because it happens to us. Just get the job done. And then when we're going for the league, mate, I'm all for it. I don't give a shit. Just do what you need to do to win. It's frustrating, I know, but I don't think we need to. I think we're going to start fast. I think we're going to be aggressive, and I think Arsenal's in for a tough night myself.
Fucking hell, give me some optimism. I'm telling you, give me some optimism. What's the scoreline going to be, Steve?
3-0.
3-0. Fucking hell, that's no optimism whatsoever. Really, not even a goal on the fucking board. It's mad. You know what? Yeah, I'm keeping it real in it. Like, don't get me wrong. I want my team to win the league. I want my team to win the game. I support them all the time. You see himself, bro. Man travels, goes watch the game, spends loads of money on the club. You get me? And I do that just sheer out of the love that I have for the team. You get me? But being realistic, I can't see us winning the game. I want us to win the game, and I hope and pray we win the game, and I hope and pray we win every single game after that so we can win the league. But realistically, these boys...
City will drop points in the next few weeks, 100% guarantee. We might not lose, but we will drop points. It happens all the time. You can't possibly... We've only done it once where I think we won 14 on the bounce, chased Liverpool down, won the league, but we was exceptional that time. But I think we've definitely got a little slip in us somewhere. But the fact that Arsenal, I think teams now can look at Arsenal and think, fucking hell, we can get at these. These have been 2-0 up and bottled it here. We can get at them. And that's what I think the mentality is, you know, certain teams will sit back against City and think we're not getting panned off these and we win. Some team will go at Arsenal, I think, because they know they can get something, especially Brighton and that. They're going to think, fuck it, let's have it.
Yeah, we've been leaking goals horrendously since we come back from into what's it called, World Cup. We've been leaking goals. I'm telling you, we're not been keeping so many clean sheets. I think Aaron Ramsdale up until that point had the most clean sheets. Now he's sitting like third or something like that. So we are definitely conceding more goals. I'm just hoping that these boys can give me that belief again, give me that confidence again, put a performance in to show us, look, now we're not dead and buried, we're not out in the water.
Arsenal win, man. You're back on it.
Yeah,
back on it. If Arsenal win, it's massive for you. And like you say, it's massive. We've still got to go and get our game in hands and win. And we've got tough games coming up: Fulham, Brighton, West Ham, Leeds, all teams that are fighting. So yeah, it's what football's about. You know, last season we chatted and it was a different story. You hammered us at the Emirates and we won. And this season, it's just been mad.
It's the performance though, Steve. I want to see that performance that gives me that confidence, because over the last 2 games, the performance has been shit. Like, don't wait till you're 3-1 down and throw all the eggs in the basket when all the pressure's off you to go and try to regain the points. You get me? Like, because that's what happened against Southampton. The pressure was gone. We were 3-1 down. Then in the last 10 minutes, they did everything they possibly can do to try to win the game. I want to see that kind of heart and desire and passion right from
the only good thing
we've seen all season.
That I used to say to people, when you're in a title race, you just can't get beat. So there's games where you're not at the races and you can play till the cows come home, but you won't win. But you got to get a point. We played Sunderland in that 2012 season at home, and we were 2-1 down to Sunderland at home. and it was an easy win, and I thought the title's over. And Sammy and Nasri scored 2-2, I think it was. And we just got a point. When you're not expected to get a point, we got a point. We've done it the other way where we've been against Tottenham. We got it back to 2-2 the other year, and we went gung-ho against Tottenham, trying to win it. They caught us on the counter-attack, got beat. But you're still getting points. I know it's disappointing, and I know it's not. But you're 3-1 down to Southampton with fucking 10 minutes to go, whatever it was, and you got a point. So you got something, you know what I mean? It's disappointing, but you got something. You're still there. It's still a point gained on this race. But to drop 6 in the last 3,
it's
from
not
a Man
enough.
City point of view, we was like, nah, I can't believe this. That's crazy.
No, definitely not good enough for me. This is why I've kind of come to realization and thinking, you know what, well done to the boys for what you give us this season. Well done for being where you are and challenging for this long and going all the way to the end. But you got to look at it with a different set of eyes and think it might be a little bit too little too late, really, in that kind of aspect. But I'm going to go with, I hate saying it. I don't like going against my team, bro. I just don't like going against my team. But realistically, I can see a 2-1 win to City. Or if we don't get our act together, it can be embarrassing. Like, been there many times before, 5s, 4s. Like, I've not had good times at the Etihad. You get me, man's literally coming out of that stadium fucking fuming, mate.
You sure got a long way to go.
I know, finally, for fuck's sake. Do you know what I mean? Normally, bro, like against Southampton, bro, on the way back on the motorway, all I could think about is where we fucked up, what's happened.
All you could think about was sharks. Big Steve's going to text me a shark in a minute.
I seen your shark. I didn't open the message. You couldn't. I looked at it. I thought, nah. You're taking the piss there now. But look, people, first of all, I just want to say a big thank you for Steve. Obviously, I know he's a very busy man and everybody's trying to jump on the back of him in order to get a preview out of him. You get me? So big up for coming on. Make sure you're smashing a like on this video, people. Subscribe if you're new. Go and check out Big Steve's channel as well. All real Manchester City content out there. You get me? Keeps it real and says it as it is, people. And obviously, a very good friend of mine. So make sure you support both of us, people. But peace and love, and we'll see you on the next one.